committee again that keeps getting recycled over and over again, claiming that the reason we have fires on our Forest Service lands is because we haven't been doing large timber harvest.
As you can see from the chart behind me, when we stopped managing our forests, wildfires increased exponentially. During the previous administration, billions of dollars were spent running the Forest Service into the ground instead of getting people out into the field to do the work. Millions of precious taxpayer dollars were wasted writing unnecessary reports on old growth or settling lawsuits with radical environmental NGOs. In fact, despite receiving $12 billion under the so-called Inflation Reduction Act and infrastructure bill, the Forest Service actually reduced the number of acres it planned to manage to address wildfire risks.
There's been a lot of discussion, and I agree wholeheartedly with the chairman that our forests are in really bad shape. And we know that's for a number of reasons. It's due to fire suppression and a number of different things. But in general, we know that most of the load of hazardous fuels in our forests are small diameter trees. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Stansbury, yes, a lot of that it's biomass, right? It's small diameter trees, it's brush. A lot of that is the fuels. Yes, ma'am.
And since you worked in private forestry, you know that small diameter is really difficult to turn into timber products. In fact, you work for a company that was in the timber product industry. And in New Mexico, it's a big problem for us, right? Because we have a lot of mills that have gone out of business, but there's also not a lot of large timber trees left. And we need to deal with hazardous fuel loads to deal with a fire hazard, but it's really difficult to get these small diameter fuel loads to market to be beneficial timber products. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, yes, that is correct. We actually just announced yesterday we have about $23 million in grants that we provided, the Forest Service did, to contractors to help remove some of that small material from the forest, because you're right, it's 30 to 35 bucks a ton to move it out in many cases, and it doesn't pay its way out of the woods in many instances.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chief.
So, Mr. Chairman, just to clarify real quick, so when we do timber harvest, though, keep in mind, it removes not just saw logs, we remove non-saw material as well.
I agree,
okay.
But that's not what the chart is all about, that they keep recycling over and over again. Thank you for your expertise on that. The second question I have for you is about support, since you were in private forestry, and I also understand from your bio that you worked in partnership with Montana and Idaho state foresters as well. Would you agree that our private and tribal and state forestry programs are really important collaborative programs to manage our forests?
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Stansbury, yes, I would agree that those are important relationships and dialogue that we have with those folks on a regular basis.
Can I ask you just honestly, did you help draft the budget for the Forest Service this year?
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Stansbury, the agency provides feedback into the budgeting process, so yes, I did.
Did you personally put your fingerprint on this budget?
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Stansbury, the way the process works is we are provided a draft, we provide feedback and comment to that. And short of objections to anything in the budget, we're on board with the budget. So I am supportive of the President's budget.
I understand, and just so you're aware, I used to work at OMB, so I'm very aware about how the budget gets drafted, and I know you came in this spring and weren't there from the get-go, but as I understand your answer, and I know that as a political appointee you have to answer as you have to answer, but I take that to mean that you were handed a draft and you didn't put your thumbprint on this specific budget. And that's elucidating to me because literally this budget eliminates the state private and tribal forestry program. And so I can't comprehend how somebody who thinks these programs is important would zero out that program. And I'll just say in New Mexico, I know there's been a lot of argument and back and forth here in this committee this morning. The federal workforce in the Forest Service in New Mexico is understaffed, underpaid, underappreciated, and they're not able to do their jobs right now. I can tell listening to you that you're a leader who cares and that you care about this industry. And I hope that in your time in service here in the federal government, you'll help to rebuild the workforce that we need and support the folks in the field who we absolutely need to carry out all the missions of the Forest Service. So thank you for your time. And with